What's something only kids who grew up poor would understand? I was 11 when I learned what free lunch really cost. Our school cafeteria had this system. Green trays for kids who paid cash, blue trays for free lunch. Kids might as well have stamped poor on our foreheads. That Thursday in April changed everything. I was running late because Mr. Peterson kept me after class for a question I didn't even ask. By the time I reached the cafeteria, the lunch line stretched across the room. My stomach growled. I hadn't eaten since the soggy toast that morning. "Move it, Martinez," the lunch lady barked. "Blue or green?" The cafeteria had gone oddly quiet. I felt eyes burning into my back. "Blue," I whispered. She shoved the tray at me like I'd done something wrong. As I turned, I saw Aiden Matthews, whose dad owned half the car dealerships in town. He nudged his friend. "Blue tray special," he snickered. "Government cheese." My cheeks burned. I kept my eyes down, focusing on not spilling my spaghetti and milk. I told myself to just get to the table, just sit and eat. Then it happened. Aiden stuck his foot out as I passed. I saw it too late. The tray went flying. Spaghetti splattered across the floor. The milk carton burst. Worst of all, my blue tray, that marker of poverty, skidded dramatically across the floor. The room erupted in laughter. "Oops," Aiden said. "Guess welfare doesn't cover balance lessons." I knelt to clean the mess using the thin cafeteria napkins that dissolved on contact. My eyes stung, but I blinked fast. "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry." Mrs. Winters, the monitor, hurried over. "Go get the mop from the janitor," she instructed. I walked through the maze of tables like I was moving underwater, my heart pounding. When I returned with the mop, Aiden and his friends were making a game of stepping over my spilled lunch. "Watch out for the poor zone," one of them joked. Each word stung more than the last. I mopped my own humiliation while my stomach growled. There would be no second serving. Free lunch kids got one shot, and I blew it. I'd have to wait until dinner, which would be whatever my mom could throw together from our nearly empty fridge. When the bell rang, I returned to class hollow, with hunger, but worse, with shame. At home, I found Mom asleep on the couch, still in her housekeeping uniform. She smelled like bleach and exhaustion. She'd been working double shifts at the motel again. On the counter was a note: "Dinner in fridge. Love you." In the refrigerator was a single container, leftovers she'd brought home from the motel restaurant. Some mashed potatoes, a piece of chicken. She hadn't eaten her own meal so I could have it. I sat at our wobbly kitchen table and cried into the cold mashed potatoes. Not because they tasted bad, but because I knew they were a sacrifice. The next morning, Mom shook me awake earlier than usual. "Got something for you," she said, pressing a crumpled $5 bill into my hand. "For lunch, just for today." I knew what that $5 meant. It was bus fare for her entire week. She'd be walking to work now, adding an hour each way to her already exhausting day. "I can't," I started. "Just today," she repeated firmly. "A girl needs to buy lunch sometimes." At school, I clutched that $5 bill like it was made of gold. When lunch came, I stood in line, heart pounding. "Green," I said when I reached the front, my voice stronger than I felt. The lunch lady raised an eyebrow, but handed me the green tray. I paid, receiving a pitiful amount of change back. I don't even remember what I ate. All I remember is Aiden watching. I lifted my chin and walked past him without looking down. That walk, it felt like a mile long, but I didn't trip. That night, I put the change, $1.27, in an old coffee can in my closet. The next day, I took my blue tray again. But every few weeks, when I'd saved enough from returning soda cans and the occasional quarter found on the sidewalk, I'd buy lunch with a green tray, and no one ever caught on. It took me years to understand what my mother had sacrificed for that single moment of dignity, and even longer to stop being ashamed of that blue tray.